Hello everyone. So today I got DanDaDan to talk about. I thought this was one of the best new series last year, and season 2 did not disappoint at all. Season 2 was fantastic, so was it worth it? Incredibly, yes. 4.9, well deserved. For my final score of DanDaDan for the 2 seasons, it's going to be a strong 9.7, almost 8. Right below Perfect Saint. And it's probably, it does have a real chance of becoming a 10 out of 10 for me. But it's fantastic to its animation and to the characters and the character development. I do have to say that season 2 is a little bit underwhelming. And the main underwhelming point of season 2 is the intro. The intro is not nearly as good as the first season, and we all knew it wasn't going to be, okay? Unfortunately, the first season had one of the best intros of anime history, and the second season kind of slides in. It's not a bad intro, it's just not a great one. The animation also didn't do anything like New Heights, but it also didn't suffer that much either, so still incredible animation. This actually felt like a season final for the first time we got, and you know why? Because DanDaDan was always supposed to be 24 episodes for its first season, but because the studio misread the popularity of this particular anime, it only approved 12 episodes at the time. So that's why we got like the weird cut off when we did at episode 12. This should have been done in one cure and then a second cure right afterwards, but instead we just got seasons, which is fine. But if you really want to be critical, this would be the end of the first season, technically, or at least this is what they had originally planned. So this is season 2 officially. It was fantastic. It didn't do anything that was incredibly new, but again, it kept up with everything that we loved from the first season. We had even a giant kaiju battle at the end, which I was not expecting, and I'm not a huge fan of kaiju battles, don't get me wrong. Kaiju number 8 does a good job with it, but I'm just, ever since growing up with Godzilla when I was a little kid, I didn't care about it that much. They did a really good job with it, and there was a lot of character developments. One of the cool new characters that is introduced this season is Evil Eye, and I think he was a really good addition. I didn't like him at first, but as it went going, it was a really good addition. I think he has some character development things showing, and he feels like one of the group already by the end of the season, so I thought that was great. Also, it gives Okarun like measuring sticks so that we can see how powerful Okarun becomes, and a driving force. The romance between Momo and Okarun is really taking its time, which I like, and you can see how Momo is like blushing more when she sees Okarun, and how she is like interacting with him more on a like I trust you alone basis. I think that the slow pace of this is actually the perfect pace for like a relationship like this. I think it's really well done. Like I said, this season didn't do anything like incredibly new, but it built on everything we got last season, and that's all you can ask for from a sequel. As far as like a season 2 or even a season 3, I think it was fantastic. I highly recommend it. Again, it is more of an adult anime. I would say 17 and above at the very least. It's not like it's gross all the time or anything. It has less fan service than Rent a Girlfriend and less than most animes out there. However, it does talk about a lot of adult concepts in it, and even if you don't see it, they talk about it. So I would recommend a higher age group for this particular anime. But yeah, That's my thoughts on DanDaDan Season 2. 4.9, well deserved, and a 9.7 on my scale. Probably by the end of the series, or maybe even sooner, I may raise that to 10 out of 10. I don't think it's gonna go down. Again, I'm not a manga reader, I'm an anime watcher. I do read manga for series that looks like it might not get another season, like Seventh Time Loop, or that one gambling one that I can never pronounce. Well, that's a Netflix one. We're still waiting on a season 3, by the way. But yeah, I read ahead on that, particularly just because there hasn't been a new season in a long time, and I don't know if we're going to get a new season anytime soon on that. So that's DanDaDan, one of the best animes out right now. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. Have a good night.